It's nice to see a few of you down here. Please stay.
I'm here with Charlie Harper from the UK Stats. Charlie, I was in Prague last week and I saw your concerts, concert posters all around. And I saw you have 27 concerts in 30 days. How is that possible?
Because we're superheroes. No, I'll tell you what. My favourite band is coming over to England, and they're doing just 12 shows, but every day.
Wow.
We get Monday off. They're playing every day, and I suppose once I done 17 back to back. 17. That's probably my record. But like I say to the band, you can change your drum skins, you can change your strings, and you're like, I can't change my throat. It's the only one I got. So it can be hard.
Okay.
I'm just lucky I got a very strong throat. You know.
Yeah, you do. But is it still the same spirit when you're on stage like 40 years ago, or has it changed?
Not really. Still trying to strive for it to some kind of perfection. Every hall sounds a little bit different, so you've got to fill the hall like sometimes differently. Sometimes I sing kind of very seriously. Sometimes I sing like a cheeky Cockney chappy, like a very pert.
So it depends on the day.
It depends on how I feel, how the hall is. We're not one of these bands who just do the same thing every day. We change it a little bit.
And what was your motivation back in the 70s when you started the whole band and the punk thing came up? What was your motivation to make music?
Well, I was already working in the band, and it was kind of R&B come garage, you know. And one day I got a phone call from a friend of mine who was a DJ and said, look, you've got to come down to the club tonight. I've got, a record of this band, you're going to love. And it was the Ramones' first single. And I just fell in love. And from then on, I was blinkered. That's what and they're even surprised to see that they dressed like us, just leather jackets and jeans and Converse. Oh dear.
Yeah.
And and that was it. That simple beat done it for me. So I also love the Clash and every band going, Susie, the Pistols, everybody.
So the music from CBGB from America inspired you back then?
Yeah. I was already, see how I got into it. I was already listening to Iggy Pop with a guy who became our second bass player, Paul Slack. He had all those, Iggy Pop, and I had all those New York Dolls albums. Had an album by Hollywood Brats. I had an album by the Tubes, and so we were already on that way, and I had every Velvet Underground album as well. I was ready poised to embrace the whole scene,
Okay. Back from then until now, you've made a lot of concerts. You've played probably thousands of times. Is there one concert that stands out of all this big amount of concerts?
One of my favourites is the Lorelei in on the Rhine with Die Totenhosen, supporting Totenhosen. What I remember of it, I remember being very happy doing it, and it was a funny concert. I ended up very drunk, falling backwards off my chair, and that was me gone.
Okay.
It's a good way to end the evening.
Since 1976, a lot have changed in the punk scene. What do you think on the development of punk in all the years, in the past years?
Well, it's interesting. The last interview was about bands. Excuse me.
No worries.
Got more and more commercial.
Yeah.
Very successful. Take now, you got Green Day are absolutely huge, monumentous, and it doesn't bother me. There's room for it. The Green Day did appeal to the young ones, and now the young ones are older.
Yeah.
And they just played in a park in London to about a million people, and it's brilliant. I was there because I was there to see Rancid, and they were brilliant.
Okay.
But they've got huge. But good luck to them.
So, do you see a conflict of being a punker and playing big concerts in front of thousands of people and earning a lot of money?
No, I don't think this way. In fact, if we got a big concert, we consider it. If we get a concert like this, that's us. We live here. But if we get a big concert, we consider it because we don't really enjoy it. Once we're on stage and we're playing to the crowd and the crowd reacts, that's us. We're off. But for instance, we're playing in Ireland on our next British tour, and we found out that Bad Manners are playing on the same day in this big gig, and we were offered. We didn't want to, clash with them, so we were off the same show. A Bad Manners show, supporting Bad Manners. We had to consider it and go, well, yeah, it makes sense, all that big. But I prefer small clubs, really, in the band do it any day. There's so many restrictions and jobs worths and all kinds of shit where the higher you get, the more boring it becomes,
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think every band is better in a smaller club.
Yeah. And really, the bigger bands would love to play in places like this, Someone's leaning against the lights.
So, back in the 70s, I think punk was a lot of the no future question about how will the world change. Also, the punks, I think they wanted to change. So, if the Charlie from the 70s would saw the world as it is now, would he be happy?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, they were asking me, is there any question like that no one's ever asked before? That's a good one. Yes, because punk still exists and it's a valid form of music like blues or jazz. It's kind of underground, but it's there, and it's there in a good, healthy way, I think. But in a way, I'd be a little sad because the world's gone backwards from the 60s when I was kind of a teenager in the 60s and got in my 20s in the 60s, and it's like the best, supposedly the best time in your life, and the world was going somewhere. We were kind of marching against all the wars, what were going on then, and we were kind of rebellious generation, and women had the same, were equal to men, and that's one instance where we've gone backwards. Now the world is full of bozos, and bozos meant the men are bozos, and the women are bimbos. It's full of these high-heeled bimbos, and I think their mentality is very ape-like, and we've gone back. We've gone backwards. In fact, religion is another thing that's dragging us back 2,000 years, and, soon we'll be ape men again. It's like, it's silly, Another thing, football violence and racism in football and all kinds of things. You know, it's dumb. You know, I remember in the 60s when the black blues artists who were only just got away from persecution, you know, in the 50s, you know, segregation and everything, you know, and there's still segregation going on in America, and they'd come to England, and we kind of looked up to them as gods, you know, and they couldn't believe it, you know, so like they've come to Europe, and suddenly, you know, they're on a pedestal, they're better than white people, you know, and they were respected. And I think we're going back, you know, there's too much, you know, racism in the world right now, and, you know, everything's going backwards, and it's still, you know, like young kids have got to, you know, take up the struggle of, you know, the alternative society, and make their own society, make their own rules, and try and go forward, not backwards, you know.
So, you talked about religions and ideologies. Can punk be something like a religion, or something like a ideology?
Well, one great band were called the New Church, Lords of the New Church, and someone who I look up to, who used to play here with us all the time, T.V. Smith, you know, he had a song about that too. It's not punk, it's music itself, you know, music can be a religion. There's a lot of wise and gifted people who write great songs, and, you know, people like the Beatles, you know, there's some great lyrics and teachings in their songs, and it's carried through really from, you know, bands like the Buzzcocks are very kind of, you know, gay rights, you know, so, you know, punk, you know, is like holding up the flag of fair play, play to all. Sorry.
No problem. Okay, really interesting what you were saying. So you've made more than 28 albums, or 28 albums with UK subs, from A to Z, even more. What can we expect from you in the future?
Well, we have lots of plans. We have really a lot. The next thing, which as soon as we said, right, that's it, we're not doing any more, we get a phone call, we want you to do, a label in America wants us to do a covers album, which we've done all through our career. We've kind of introduced, you know, a favourite cover version that we like, but we've done all these new cover versions on an album. It's going to be released by Cleopatra in LA, and then we're all doing a project, our own solo project.
Yeah.
So you know, we're busy on that, and then it's funny, Jamie, even today Jamie said he had this idea, he's doing this little, maybe an EP project, and I was thinking the same thing, doing this strange little EP. So there's lots of lots of things to
look forward.
We will keep recording, but not, well, since I say not as a UK subs, you know, someone put money on the table and go, look, get in the studio, and that's what we do.
Okay, but you stay true to yourself.
But well, we've done the alphabet thing, and
it's amazing.
Yeah.
And maybe one last question: what happened to the key from your chain?
I think it should be in my pocket, although it's been on for a few days.
Okay.
And it's getting a bit rusty inside. I think it's hard to open and close, so it's probably going to stay there for a while until I come across someone with a bolt cutter, cut it off.
Perfect. Charlie, thank you very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you.